Greetings. I did that real quickly before we came on air. So
You know what?
Creepy.
That
Gunk of the night.
that made me reminded me of earlier today when I was finishing up listening to that show. That's how I sounded,
That should be your
curled
opening
up
to
in a
Gunk in the
ball.
night.
all right, listen. I'm going to do this as a mental reminder, and I've decided I'm going to do this as a mental reminder every single time we start our show. Everybody, no cross talking. Let's all give each other a chance to talk, and let's just have a good, fruitful conversation until Bon Jovi gets here and ruins everything. Okay?
Exactly.
So happy Halloween to all my friends out there. Today is Monday, October 31st in the year 2022 of our Lord. And as you notice, our friend Dennis actually just sprayed his hair black for this.
Even got a scarf.
It's too perfect. The plunging neckline, the beard is white, the hair is jet black,
Black.
and it looks more real than the actual
What the
Howard's
fuck
hair.
is it, Dennis? Where's the Coke spoon around your neck?
You missed it on OnlyFans. We got to watch Dennis shave his chest with and then he used men's nair to even it out
with the power washer.
with a lady chick.
I know. I tried to do sparkles on my eyes, but I don't know if anybody can see it.
Look at Ray. I didn't realize Ray had a 5 o'clock shadow.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do today. So yeah, we all want to talk about the Bruce Springsteen thing, and we want to talk about how that interview went down and all that stuff. But more interesting today is Howard's entry back into the wait, let me talk. Howard's entry back into the world of the living. And not that it was necessarily an entry, because this was like a quickie in and out. You know, he had a box lunch that Yoda's mom prepared for him. He had the hallways cleared as usual. He probably didn't talk to anybody, shake any hands, say hello to anybody, do anything other than walk in and then walk right the hell out. Wait, so let me address this weird elephant in the room. Brent is not dead, everybody. So after I saw that on Reddit yesterday, the day before yesterday, I immediately reached out to him and I said, "Are you okay?" And I had gotten like 3 text messages from people saying, "Holy shit, did Brent die? Did Brent die? Did Brent die?" And he just starts laughing hysterically. And he's like,
Why are
"No,
you the curator of Brent's essence?
I know
Isn't that crazy?
You know,
How did
he's
you get
totally
anointed the
kind of
curator
Brent's
of Brent? You're
essence."
making the funeral arrangements and everything.
it's just
You're
Totally.
about to write him
living
a
on.
nice note.
It's so
Right.
bizarre.
He said it's so bizarre to me. He's like, "I'm hanging out. I'm at like a rock festival and somewhere or another." He's like, "And TMZ called me and the Pope
What?
called me." Yes, he's like, "It's absolutely insane." I was like, "You got to admit that obituary that somebody put for you in like, some cemetery, funeral legacy thing is pretty fucking hysterical." I mean, it was absolutely classic. But yeah, he's not dead. He's in the middle of doing something. He's writing something. He's doing some sort of documentary. He's doing something. And he said it's gonna knock our fucking socks off. And he definitely is gonna give us an interview and we'll see. Yeah, I know. Brent Hatley. It was so funny. Brent Hatley survived by his wife Caitlin and her boyfriend Jack Hammer. I mean, it was just really, really silly. So yeah, so he's not dead. Just in case anybody was still concerned about that.
But it's creepy. When you float those rumors like that, when somebody really wants to make that go, it has to be plausible. It has to be someone that you believe would prematurely die in a way. So you bought it because you're like, Brent does a lot of drugs. He's in a crazy, crazy
If
Florida lifestyle.
anybody
Sorry,
could
Dennis.
just absolutely drop dead, it would be Brent. That's
Yeah, and
for
so
sure.
that's why you believe it. Like all the Artie rumors, everyone believes it because that's very feasible.
Yeah, it is very feasible. And like you think. I mean, we've always had Artie rumors. We always have rumors about like the usual like cast of suspects, but the reality is yeah, Brent would be one that I would absolutely believe.
I was going to send him a deli platter.
Yeah,
Yes.
when Cindy Lou wrote that. Yeah,
Brother
Um,
Redmond,
you got
nice note.
halfway through.
Okay, Radio Gaga, that's a good question. Why hasn't Brent addressed it himself? Now, somebody had said
He
on
loves the
the
attention.
thread yesterday that he was on the Miserable Men or Uncle Rico's show or something like that. So I'm not necessarily sure that he didn't address it, but I don't listen to that show.
Well, on some place that somebody would hear it.
Yes, well, of course, they're going to hear it anywhere where they're, jumping on the that fucking guy out in California's bandwagon and paying him more attention than he deserves. So
Oh, that fucking guy.
That fucking guy.
This fucking guy. I'm gonna come out with a knockoff show called the
I went over and I told them. Listen here.
Okay, so all right.
He loves the attention too, Monique.
Yeah, of course he does.
Chief Phony Feathers and I will confirm.
Of course you So before we get to the Bruce stuff, and let me tell you, the Bruce stuff was really kind of I don't even know how to say that.
Overproduced.
Horrible. Boring.
Overproduced.
It was actually horrible. Actually, the sound quality was offensive. The fact that he thought that he was going to start a half hour late because they had to check the sound, and then he comes on air 10 minutes late, and the sound sounds like shit.
I had a UPS guy come to the door, and I was trying to listen to it, so I didn't get much through it. Answers the door, and he goes, I'm sorry I knocked, because he usually just dropped the package. I knocked. I thought this was kind of, the walls were vibrating, so I decided to knock. And that's Howard's compression vibrating through the walls. He heard it outside.
You're kidding.
Yeah. It was because I had it kind of loud, but his compression vibrates walls. I'm not, with no hyperbole at all. The guy heard the wall vibrate.
C137 wants to know, did it feel pre-recorded? I don't think so. I think it was live. I think it was shitty enough to be live, put it that way.
Yeah.
It was definitely not something that was done in his basement. It was a little bit worse than that, actually.
Which is so, what's so weird about this whole endeavor of going back into Sirius is that if he did it in that studio 69, as he called it, and it was just the two of them in there should have been nothing changed for 2 years. I mean, literally no one has done anything in that studio. There should be nothing different. And Howard's sound was incredibly off, and Bruce sounded like he was talking into a Campbell's soup can.
Yeah, well, you're gonna hear it momentarily. So
attached to a microphone.
We're gonna listen to it. Let's see. Taco Tuesday, you are absolutely correct. On Twitter, people were saying they shut down the whole floor for Howie. People were pissed. Yes, so we have that as well. So we have a lot of commentary from Jim and Sam, and we're going to talk about that as well. So yes, we have lots.
Tiger Lily asking the $1 million question. Did Robin go in? Of course not.
No,
Howard has no need for her.
And somebody said it on the listening thread this morning. It's like, so Howard can go visit his mother who has had COVID and, see her in a nursing care facility where, people are pretty much rife with like disease. But that's okay. Mm-hmm. But you can't see Robin, who literally is behind a glass wall when they're really together anyway. So he uses somebody made a really good comment. I'm hoping, John, maybe you can find it in that thread. It was just about, how do you say to Robin that she can't come in because she's immunocompromised, yet you go to visit your mother all the time.
Right.
And it's no big deal, So yeah, it's just kind of weird. So you're going to hear Howard in a moment.
Which makes you think the mom thing's fake. Which makes you think he's not actually going there. I mean, do you really believe?
I think he goes there, but I think, listen, he's such a psychotic man.
Yes.
Are we not realizing after doing the show for 6.5 years that he really is a little fucking crazy? Like he's
a lot crazy.
So yeah, he has a weird, skewed perception of what is right and wrong in the world, and nobody's saying that what he says is right or wrong. It's just who he is. Robin went to a fucking concert. She was amongst hundreds of people.
Yeah.
And he thinks of it as being a horrible affront to go there.
So my thought on this is that in the thread I had two reasons. First of all, Robin probably has a bag and doesn't want to come in with that. Second of all, honestly, what would she do? the first
Hey,
hour.
stop with the Robin has a bag. She went to the fucking Pearl Jam concert.
But
She didn't have a bag for 4 hours of fucking concerting.
But here's the second part. It's a 2-hour drive or wherever it is. And she would literally be part of the show for an hour. Because when Bruce was on, she said nothing. She was
Doesn't matter.
quiet.
How does that even matter? Because you know Robin wants to see him. You know she wants to be
But
there.
Howard is minimalizing her.
You know,
'cause he
Robin's met
knows.
Bruce before.
Well, that's true.
I found out today. It was at a Rainforest concert, and
It's even worse.
She used James Taylor as a conduit to get next to Bruce.
Wow.
And crowbarred herself into a concert. I mean,
That's even
we don't
worse.
have to play that.
Robin would come in. Howard
Yeah.
wouldn't let her. Robin
Right.
absolutely wants to see him. She absolutely wants to be there, regardless. The
course.
bag has nothing to do with it, Dennis. I'm going to call
Well,
the
it's also he's marginalizing her. That's the other part. It's marginalizing.
totally
her.
marginalizing.
Yeah,
her.
for anyone who didn't hear the show
To
today,
get rid of her.
Artie was the only one they let on the show to listen to it and participate.
So what they basically did is they started just a wee bit late, but the entirety of the morning was spent talking about the travails of getting him into the office, as well as really just sitting and waiting for Bruce. That's really all it was.
No, Geronimo, I'm usually right. Go fuck
and
yourself.
they just you have to listen. If you're gonna talk about somebody in the chat, you have to tell me what they're saying so that people don't bitch during the podcast.
I don't even want to present it. Just go fuck himself.
Okay, so just leave it be. Don't even reply to it. Do not answer commentary if people on podcasts can't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay.
I apologize to somebody in the mockery thread who said this. It could be K-Tate. It could be Reno. One of these. It could have been Dennis, for Christ's sake. God knows. But so they had a theory that, well, Monique says this all the time. This is supposed to be this huge thing is coming in, and God knows he can't do 1 extra second to do a fucking sound test when you guys were talking about the sound. This is so important
Reno,
to me because it's not in his the very letter of his contract. He can't do 10 extra minutes to test this fucking Darth Kermit compression.
You realize he probably arrived there at 6:55.
Yes, Barbara.
I guarantee he arrived at 6:55.
Yes,
and that's why it started at 7:10.
Definitely, Dennis. Definitely.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit, and let's just hear one of the promos. This was going on all morning before the show started. So,
The Howard Stern Show, live, starting soon. Today, for the very first time, Howard welcomes Bruce Springsteen.
So they already knew starting soon. They already knew it was going to be late. They already knew it was going to be one of those things where
cover your own ass.
Total cover your own ass. They hit those promos like last week sometime.
Oh yes.
And above and beyond talking about the things he wanted to talk to Bruce about, the whole morning was just talking about his preparation for this.
Yeah, bragging about having. And like we talked about this and we'll talk about it later. Springsteen's been on Charlie Rose like 50 times. He's been on Jon Stewart's show like 5 times. Been on Fallon 50 times. This is not a hard get. Everyone in show business has had him on except Howard. He's been on Kimmel, Christ's sakes, for 15 times. So this is not a hard get. It's so overproduced, and the patting themselves on the back is so irritating.
But John, the thing is, on those shows, you may have actually learned something new. Today we learned nothing. We learned less than nothing.
But Dennis, they get 7 minutes with him. Howard gets 2.5
2 hours and 15 minutes. But who's counting?
All right.
So Vaughn is going to be joining us because he does want to talk about how shitty the audio.
Bat dance.
Oh, you really going to do this for copyright infringement?
You know how?
Yeah. No. Yeah. There it goes.
Are you kidding me right now?
I checked. It's fine. I checked. It didn't happen. I did it last time. I did it a few months ago. It didn't get busted. No. I just. Go with the Thank you.
Monique, I got to back up on this. Prince is very liberal about using his rights to his music.
That's the greatest.
Yeah, he loves
it. He loves when everybody uses him and Don Henley will have you sent to prison for 50 years.
All right, so Bonnie's joining us because we did want to talk. We started off. There goes Mo's revenue. We started talking off about his sound and his quality, and the fact that he started only 10 minutes late, as if that was enough time for him to prep for the show that he was going to do today. So before you start talking about his audio, let's hear a little bit of it. And any of you who listen to his show or listen to our show, you will definitely see a difference in the sound and the depth of the bass and the quality of it. It just seems kind of weird that this is what he would sound like in the office. On top of that, we're talking about his protocols for coming into the office. So the first clip is really about how he had to prepare to get himself into the office. So I'll start with this and then we'll come back to the sound.
Humble brag.
I gotta tell you,
Where'd you get
being back at work, it only took 1 minute, Robin, and now I am completely covered in COVID.
How many people did you pass on the way to this place?
0. I gotta tell you,
Where'd you get the COVID then?
we had it so buttoned down. I pulled into the building, and the guy here who works the elevator, Otis, my old friend Otis, you know Otis.
Yes, you saw Otis.
Otis was wrapped up like a mummy. They had him covered. Everyone who met me at the elevated doors, covered. They marched me up here. Every security person is covered. Then I got into the office. It is completely empty.
That's it.
Nice
So
humble brag.
Fairway,
Somebody wrote that
Yeah.
trying to be funny.
Fairway
Monique,
Maiden,
you-
I felt like Howard was in a smaller soundproof room and not his studio. Absolutely, that's what it sounded like.
Definitely, the acoustics are way off.
So you don't
Monique,
think
that's
he was
actually
in...
Otis Thorpe from the Sacramento Kings and Rockets. That guy Otis is in the Opie video that I sent you, by the way.
So
He's the guy who's man in the hallway.
So
Are you
you're
sure
saying he wasn't in this luscious, luxurious studio that Sirius keeps dumping money into
That's
for
right.
no apparent reason?
Doesn't
he-
sound like it.
You're right, because the sound was, like I said, if he had gone into his studio, nothing's been touched for over 2 years. He
Chief
literally
Phony
could go
Feathers
down,
is
just turn the
right.
mic on and be the same.
Chief Phony Feathers is right. He's
Do you
so
think he
proud
was
of
in the
this.
fishbowl? Because that's right by where
could
he
be.
is.
No, they just did Richard Christie's Halloween
Oh,
special.
he ain't touching that.
No
It was
way
a-
he's going into
it was
that.
a
We
Clorox.
didn't even go into that. Otis
Um,
is the elevator operator dude, I think, not the
wait,
guy.
Otis is the name of an elevator too. Otis Elevators.
Otis,
I think they're-
yes. it is.
It's a tag team elevator crew.
Bon,
He's
Bon,
a-
what you thinking on this sound tonight? Bon? Oh, fuck. He's not there. All right, so we're going to move on.
It's tomorrow. He missed it.
He
So-
loves. I agree with Phony Feathers. He loves the bragging or the humble bragging about this. He loves to tell his partners wielding this kind of power. He can shut down this whole place, lobby all the way on through. Whenever he loves this. He loves.
Can't wait to listen to the Jim and Sam about this because it really does highlight from a different perspective exactly how everybody else, I believe, in Sirius thinks about it. So let's move on to other. Then Bon, you left us. Are you? Did you?
Yeah, I'm
wanna-
here.
Okay.
I realized my mic was like really fucking loud.
I lowered it actually a little bit, but it still wasn't enough. So you want to talk to us about the sound?
I don't want you lowering it because if don't worry about that.
Sound
was just gonna
sound fight.
So that sound sounds like it's they're missing like a processor, an equalizer processor actually on it. It sounds like it kind of feels like there's a pillow over it. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have the treble it needs and stuff. Sorry,
Doesn't it sound like he's in a soundproof room though? Like not in his normal studio setting?
It sounds about as bad as the first quarantine shows. I've never heard him sound this bad, and
Good
it's
comparison.
stunning that his sound doesn't change for the whole show. Hours. Like who's monitoring this, and who doesn't immediately go in there within 5 minutes, run in there and go, "Oh, you got to switch this button or something," because
Or at commercial time, at a commercial
Wait.
or something.
So they had 2 commercials before Bruce came in. They had a commercial going from the 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock hour, or a little after, and then they had a 15-minute break.
Yeah.
15 minutes or 16-minute break before Bruce came in, and neither time they addressed any of the sound, which is awful because the first
Really
break was
weird.
10 minutes. They had 25 minutes of time to correct it and did nothing.
How many
0.
weeks, Dennis, before they knew? Gary said they booked him weeks in
Oh, it's
advance. How much
friggin'
time? And
oh,
this
it's
asshole
months.
can't do 10 minutes to get the sound right of extra because it's not in the letter of his contract.
I don't know who any of these people are on Jim and Sam. It doesn't matter who they are. I don't
Doesn't
care
matter.
who they are. I don't listen to the show. But the protocols that went down and as they explained it were pretty friggin' funny. So we are going to listen to
Our
them.
enemy's enemy is our friend. So there we go.
Great. Okay, so now we're
Just,
going to just talk a little. Yes, Bon.
I did a quick EQ on it, on the equalization, on what it should sound like.
Thanks,
So
nerds.
I know it is a very nerdy moment, but this is
This is very
This is-
dirty.
this is just me touching it up a little bit. It kind of should have sounded like this.
I am someone, when I do a radio show, I can't take a break. I don't even want to take a break for a commercial.
Which is that's got more treble in it, so you can hear the kind of difference. Edmond, just play that little bit of that clip again where he talks, just so you can
I
hear the
gotta tell
difference.
you,
Where'd you get?
with being back at work, it only took 1 minute, Robin, and now I am completely covered in COVID.
Yeah,
Hear yours?
I am someone, when I do a radio show,
Wow.
I can't take a break.
Still sounds
I
muffled.
don't
though.
even want to take a break
It
for a
does.
commercial.
Sort of
I
I,
go for
muffled.
I can't believe it. Someone should have lost their job over it. Like,
Absolutely.
I'm not kidding.
You-
That's an inferior. So
You think he
inferior.
has sound accountability, Bond? You think someone's telling him anything about the sound?
No.
No, there should be someone.
Because he's the one that needs to test it, because it's on
He
him.
specifically
Completely on him.
said, I'm going to be late this morning because we have to make sure that the sound is great for when Bruce gets there.
I want to ask
Yeah,
Bond
yeah,
this.
yeah.
And you believe him.
So, Bond, do you think they just
I believe
turned
it.
up his compression and didn't adjust anything else on the equalizers and just?
I think
turned it
it's
correctly?
missing like your bass treble settings. I think that's
Yep.
kind of the sound of his microphone normally. Like if you just plugged, he's
Right.
got a great mic. If you just plugged in the computer and you don't put equalizer and compression on it, it's lacking all of that. But it's just Bruce. I thought Bruce sounded okay. Like he sounded like clear, and his mic was alright compared to Howard's. You hear when Bruce talks and Howard talks, but someone should lose their job, and someone was there. Like he's got a Scott the engineer type guy in another room monitoring
right.
in case a
Several
microphone
Scott the
breaks.
engineers.
Like remember years ago when his mic broke and someone came in and replaced it? Like
But the
10
fact
years
that he
ago, it
spent
broke.
really-
Yeah.
you guys are all right. He literally spent like 10 minutes in preparation work for this. So this is what he gets. He gets shitty sound and he deserves it. He deserves it.
It might just be that there's a button that they didn't press because he hears it in his
How
headphones,
could they not?
and he'd
How
know.
could they not though? You know,
So
you
Reg-
have one job. Literally, you
Yep.
have one job,
Yep.
and your job is for what he perceives as his most important interview of the season,
Of
right?
his life. It's
Uh,
the most interview of my most part interview of my life.
Yeah,
It's
so
like it's like a field goal kicker, Monique, going, I don't care who my holder is and my long snapper. I'm not going to check it out. I'm not touching this. I'm just going to
I'll tell you. They get when they record it, they take all of the
One job.
feeds off and they just record the straight microphone for archive. So I just want to see if in a few weeks this episode changes. So I'm going to check it again because they might get complaints about it and they can go back to the original mic and remix it. So it might change.
A
Which would be
David
fascinating.
David says if he didn't say anything about his allegiance to the sound quality, I wouldn't even care. It's the fact that he brought it up, and it's shittier than those 2006 test shows. Yeah, you're so right, David. Because he wanted us to know this. Yes, Dennis. Yes.
Oh, so no, Bond. So they wouldn't try to fix it before they replay it 15,000 times this week, because this show is going to be replayed multiple times this week. Multiple,
You're right, man.
starting-
I know.
starting
Someone could have
Thursday.
fixed it in about 10 minutes after
You know what I'm going to do?
post. They
I'm
could
going
have.
to send one of the clips to Scott, and I'm going to ask him, what do you think?
Oh, beautiful idea.
That'd be awesome.
Please do.
Yes,
Fairway,
I'm gonna do
Fairway
that.
Maiden had a great comment just now, Monique. Like, somewhere, Scott the engineer is smiling.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's move on a little bit in our clippage because we have a lot to get to today. So now we're going to talk about Robin. Bless her heart. Robin, for some bizarre reason, has absolutely no idea that Howard has people who come and go in his apartment, and how do you keep a $20 million apartment lie fallow for the last 3 years? She doesn't really understand that there's people that do stuff there. So here's her talking about that. And let's listen to the difference between Robin's mic and Howard's as well while we're listening to this clip.
I mean, crazy. I mean, I was really kind of shocked, but it was like a whole military operation getting me out of the house because I hadn't been in my apartment for years.
I mean, you don't even know if anything works in the apartment. Do you? Are the lights still on? What's going on?
Well, first,
So you think he doesn't pay his electric bill, Robin? Like,
All right.
do you
So
think that it's like this dusty like apartment in the middle of like suburban France that nobody's been to since World War
Yeah.
II, and they just discovered it like laying there? What, Den?
So Blobbin obviously doesn't check on Stupidgram for Beefus because Beefus has staff that are there that are taking
That's
care
so
of.
incredibly beside the point.
Yeah,
How do you
no. But there's
She's not
people in
dissecting
that-
it like us, Dennis.
There are people in that apartment all the time because they still use as a tax write-off to house cats. That is the
Does
Manhattan
she
Detention
think
Center
for
for
a
those cats.
second that he doesn't pay the electric bill? Like, seriously.
I know that's insane. That is insane.
Okay, let's finish the
Like-
clip. Let's finish the clip. Here we go.
first of all,
There.
yeah, I have somebody there who, went
Somebody.
in and set everything up for
Went
me.
there and said
That was a whole thing. Beth
Who's
was,
living there?
Beth was setting up my nuts and berries and yogurt.
Nuts?
I just want you all guys to realize something also as I'm playing this. Just listen to the amount of times he says, I'm going to rewind a little bit. And amongst the next couple of clips, just listen for,
Somebody
Okay.
there who, went in and set everything up for me. But that was a whole thing. Beth was setting up my nuts and berries and yogurt for,
That's right. Your food has to be set up.
well, Beth was supposed to come in with me for, for my Bruce Springsteen pre-show. And she said, look, I got to stay home with Yoda. Yoda, our cat, is dying.
He's still hanging on, huh?
Yeah, what a good boy. I started to cry the other day because
He's still dying.
He's got very aggressive cancer, but we've been giving him stuff to make him eat.
Oh, I lost my interest after that.
What's a sign of low IQ, Monique?
Four.
The words.
You're just starting. This is just the start.
Oh,
of
I know. It's a start.
friends.
But that's
So what do you got there? 5? Okay, we're gonna
4.
We're
Those
gonna
4. 4 you knows.
we're gonna continue to this. So he starts to talk about how he had to dress for today, and basically lets us know that he didn't want to seduce Bruce with his outfit today because of course he would seduce a 73-year-old man who, by the way, let's just throw out there, 2 years younger than my mother, and Ronnie Mund is a month younger. So let's continue.
So anyway, so she packed me up at dinner. So I, left the house on Sunday. Had to make sure I brought everything in. My special shampoos.
that's the first thing he goes.
All night. No. I packed a bag.
Takes a lot to get you out.
You don't realize there's a lot. And then I was like, gee, what am I going to wear for Bruce?
You
But
missed it.
I
You almost
decided
missed
to
it.
downplay it
You're not listening.
because I didn't want,
I
I
was
had
going to say, you don't look like you're wearing anything special.
no, that was my philosophy. I said, I could wear one of my John Barbados jackets, like a, velour and really. And then Bruce will look at me like, you look like a douche. You're trying a little too hard to impress me. So I went with a sweater and a simple shirt, T-shirt. You know what I mean? I don't want Bruce to think I'm trying to seduce him or to show him how cool I am or something.
Oh God, there's no chance of that happening. Actually, there's no chance of Bruce thinking that you're going to seduce him. Yeah, there's no chance of that.
Sternfeld, the show about nothing. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, it's the butler. That is correct because he was eating turkey meatballs. I swear that they said he wasn't going to eat birds anymore. He said that about 3 years ago. Yes,
he did.
I don't want to eat birds anymore. Wow.
After the mercury count, right? To the too much fish.
Yeah, he's a pescatarian.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I included this little silly clip just because, and I wish I had the clip to I wish I had the picture to come back to. You know what? I might even just skip
Nice,
over.
nice reference, Beanie Mac. Sebastian Wetlook. That should be your rapper
Yeah.
name. If you
I didn't
were,
have any
Hey,
for
black
the
guy.
wig. So the thing about a lot about this statement was crazy. First of all, he's going to his other residence. He's not going to a hotel. He's not going camping. He's going to his other house that's in the middle of New York City. The middle
Yep.
of New York City.
Yep.
Not it's not now. It's the middle.
Right in the middle, Dennis. Yes,
Why
sir.
do you need
Yes,
to
sir.
have berries packed for you? Why do you need yogurt packed for you? Why do you need a lunch packed?
Why do you
for
need any meals for
I mean,
a 4 hour
you don't
show?
need
His
anything
food
packed
has
for
to
you.
be triple washed with his UV lighting
Oh,
facility.
bullshit. That's a load of shit.
I mean, he needs to make sure that there's no contaminants. He's fucking crazy.
I don't think he's that
Guys,
crazy.
I don't know if you don't get
Nonsense.
it. He's
The shampoos.
The
The
only thing he's
shampoos.
allergic to is us, Monique.
So,
Civilians.
exactly. He's allergic to the masses. The
Yep.
masses. The unwashed
The
masses.
unwashed
Commoners.
I did
So-
watch.
Unwashed masters.
So there is
The,
that.
the thing is, the hair stuff I pretty much figured out. One was Rogaine and one is the hair grow shampoo.
Yeah, I had
those
that
are the
clip,
two,
Dennis.
Those are
You
the
heard
two
that?
things that he
Yeah.
packed.
I showed you
That's
that clip
exactly
from
what it was.
the early 2000s. Hair grow. Stutter and John called it in the shower.
You guys are so
It's
funny.
Rogaine shampoo. Dennis is right.
Dennis is like he's going to camp for the summer. Yes,
Owen.
it sounded like
Yeah.
Beth pack him his little lunch so he can go away.
And he's humble bragging throughout this whole thing. Don't think for a minute he doesn't love being doted over.
So maybe I'll move on to the dinner thing for him so that we can talk about that. Here we go.
Anyway, yeah. So like Sunday was like a whole military operation getting me here. I stopped off at my mother's.
I don't believe that.
Then I came into the city, usual city traffic. Jesus, from mid Long
really?
Island to the
Poor
city
baby.
must have taken me another 2 hours. I
Oh,
tell you, I
boy.
had it with this commuting crap. But got into the city, had it all mapped out, had my dinner ready. I ate that while watching
What
Bruce.
was the dinner packed in? Do you have special
I have a
like totes?
Oh, my
I have a
Lord.
freezer bag that my wife bought me, and ice packs. You know those blue ice packs?
Yes.
Yeah. And I wrapped and I had a glass Tupperware with a rubber top, and had my
So
salad with my turkey meatballs.
You know,
And it was a nice conglomeration of food. And I was going to eat it in the car after I left my mother's,
Oh, yeah.
but I felt like the meatballs were too hard to cut up.
Do you not feel like we're listening to
And it
art
would be
radio?
messy.
Like seriously.
I know. And in the car, eating is an art form. You got to have
Yeah.
the right food.
So exactly. So I was like staring at the freezer bag going, shit, I'd love to eat this. Because I was watching them on my iPad. After a while, I was getting bored. I watched The Invincible. Have you ever seen that cartoon?
The one with the family?
Yeah.
No.
And they stretch.
No.
The woman stretches and the
No.
guy, I forget what he
No.
does.
No.
That's
She
what
doesn't-
I've
No.
been for.
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Well, who are the invincible?
No.
no.
Okay, so Robin does it. Okay, I just wanted to note two things on this clip because I did listen
Incredibles.
very intently today. So Robin has no idea what show he's talking about. Basically,
Right.
The
No.
Invincibles, which by the way is a fucking phenomenal
Yeah, it's
cartoon. If you've not seen it, it's by the
And-
guys who do The Boys, and it is phenomenal. But it is also 2 years old, so it's kind of interesting that.
Yes.
And the other thing is that it's
Please
memes
let
everywhere.
us finish talking. I'm promising you
You
guys.
stopped. You paused. I was filling the pause.
No, you didn't. You did not. You did not. Just let me finish my thoughts. It's
Fine.
driving me insane. Listening- No, because I keep listening back to our shows, and the fucking cross talking is driving me insane. I can't take us anymore. We
I
have
don't
to-
I don't care about you people.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but I care about you guys, and I care about us doing a better show. So I want us to
Don't get your tits in an uproar.
shut up. Shut up.
Hello.
So I want you to hear the fact that Robin has no idea what this show is, right? And then we're going to come back to that a little bit later. But suffice it to say that he came into the city. He packed a nice little dinner for himself, which was salad and some turkey meatballs, which Beanie Mac happened to mention to us that his doctor told him that he needed to be eating things other than just fish because of the mercury thing that was going on with him being a pescatarian. So that's what that's about. All right, go ahead. Now, Dennis, please continue.
Oh, so yeah. So first, Blobbin not seeing any memes online about the Invincibles. I mean, literally, it's a meme generator because there's so many from that show, and because it's 2 years old. Second of all, who the fuck eats meatballs in a salad? I'm beside myself on this one. I really am. That actually kind of bothered me.
And anorexics, Dennis, like to pretend they're having one meal instead of two. So he puts them together, and it's
Yes.
only one meal instead of two. That's the mind of an anorexic. By the way, she conflated. It's the fucking Incredibles Robin's talking about. The Fantastic Four. The
Yeah.
Incredibles is a knockoff of the Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Just to clear
No,
that
The
up for sex
Incredibles
nerds.
is a Disney Pixar show.
Yes.
Right, she's
That's what she's
conflating
saying.
the
That's what he's
title.
saying.
Sounds like Invincibles.
Right. She has no idea what he's talking about. I'm gonna jump around just a snurch because he's talking about his cold turkey meatballs. So let me talk
Yes.
about that really quickly.
Oh, this is crazy.
The turkey meatballs.
Well, you're gonna eat the cold turkey meatballs?
Yeah,
They're
I eat them cold.
They're gonna-
I that's why they were in a glass, so I could heat them in the microwave. But I like it cold.
Okay.
I like everything cold.
Eh.
So I was in the car watching Omni-Man. Omni-Man is the
Listen.
star of Invincible, which, by the way, is voiced by J.K. Simmons, the great actor.
Yeah.
Okay, so Robin says it's voiced by J.K. Simmons, and she says, "Yeah," and you don't even know what the fucking show is. So
Yeah.
how are you agreeing with him about a show you never heard of? You have no idea what you're talking about. I can't take the way they discuss things.
So, does anybody actually know who J.K. Simmons is?
I do.
Yeah, he's from Oz.
Yeah,
He
the-
played Schillinger.
Yeah, but I mean,
Wasn't he in
He's in-
Whiplash? That guy?
Yeah, Whoplash.
Yeah,
do you
he's
think
an
Robin
amazing
knows who
actor.
he is?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Probably not.
No,
She
exactly.
probably saw
So this is-
Whiplash.
makes this crazier.
Whiplash is a Robin kind of movie, critically acclaimed. She probably saw it.
She
She might.
should. She only watches 6 hours of Bones marathons on TNT. It's the only thing she does. She should know every actor in the Screen Actors Guild. She has no excuse to not know every fucking name.
But
Yeah, I
she
don't
didn't know
what
that's.
you're talking about. Marianne from Brooklyn's daughter has a thing with Mike Perlman. Who's that?
What?
And what is that? Give us.
That's a
skinny.
writer. It's one of those stupid 70 people in the back. One of the
Yeah.
He gets brought up once a year. Like Mike Fox or one of these people,
So-
Mike Trainer.
What do you mean by a thing? Is she dating him, or does she have a show with him?
Yeah, come back to us. Yeah, no show. She
Did
worked.
you know Steve Brandano dated Deborah Stern for about 2 months?
Oh Jesus!
I swear to
Are
God,
you
I'll get you the
breaking
clip.
news right now?
No,
Really?
no, you didn't know that? Oh, it's very
Oh,
under.
no.
It's very under. That's how one of the reasons Brandano got promoted. Besides,
Well, no, I
Marcy.
thought it was because of Marcy.
Oh,
too,
It's
my-
because
both.
he
It's
also
both.
had
It's
her,
both.
too.
He had the double bang
God.
menage a trois with Deborah and Marcy.
What are we allegedly. What are we talking about right now?
I'm
What am I
loving
talking
it
about?
though. Whatever we are, John, that was brilliant. If that's
That
true,
was
I love
brilliant.
it. Brandano got around, didn't
Yes,
he?
he did.
Wow.
Do you have a
And
clip
he's
of this?
still.
I'll get you one at some point.
Oh, he'll
Okay,
have it.
It was never
Um,
pertinent yet.
So we're going to jump around just a snurch because we're going to talk about how, obviously Howard is building the hype about Bruce coming in and talking about all of his awards and can't believe he didn't get an Emmy. He should have gotten an Emmy. And then, of course, he says this stupidness about his one little stupid award.
The only award I ever received, I'm in the Radio Hall of
You know.
Fame, but that's a lot of,
know.
my feelings
You know.
about that. I won't get into it, but
You know,
the only award I ever got that was sort of an important award was
No, it
something
wasn't.
called the Blockbuster Award.
sort of an important award.
I know, which is lame because Blockbuster's out of business. But it was televised, and I got it for my movie.
Yeah, it was
And,
presented on TV by famous Hollywood people.
Yeah,
Is this the reason that he doesn't like to go and accept awards because they're not televised? Like I was thinking about that today.
That's a good point. That's a good
Is that
one,
the
Monique.
only reason that he doesn't really do these acceptance things? Of course, the Blockbuster Award was fake, Mr. Judy Tenuta.
He paid for it. He
The
paid
fact
for the
that-
blockbuster.
He
the fact
molested
that
Heather
he-
Locklear during it too. by the way.
Totally molested Heather
Yeah.
Locklear. You played
Yeah,
that.
that was-
clip
that
not
was
too long
rape.
ago.
More people go, that's rape.
There's
rape.
no environment that's not a Me Too in these climes today. There's no environment.
No, it
He
was
just-
disgusting. The fact that he even thinks of that as remotely being an award, and then he started to talk about how I wonder where Bruce puts all those awards. He's got so many Grammys. He's got so many of this. He's got so much of that. And I have a clip later on about it's really one of almost the first questions that he asks him, which I found to be like ridiculous. I mean, it was two pompous old men like discussing.
It was. I think it was this. Honestly, I think it was the second question. I mean, that's how early on he asked that. It's so insane.
Yes.
His mind is totally like disturbed. I mean, like on a level we can't comprehend.
Now,
because you have the clip of him talking about the Blockbuster award got broken by the cleaning lady.
No, I figured we could just talk about that because that was
so he actually kind of dropped that. Yeah, the glass part.
It was
glass
got broken. And rock, and the glass got broken by the cleaning woman.
By the cleaning lady. Oops, Mr. Stern, I drop it over. Oh, it fell in a break.
Oh, so sorry. Okay, so we're going to go on to the fact that he's annoyed that he had to come in, obviously.
Let's get back to what I did. So I was kind of annoyed that I had to come into the city, but also excited because it was,
This is an adventure for you. I almost feel like you're back to the covered wagon days. You had to bring your food. You had to bring your cleaning utensils. You had to bring your shampoo.
And I'm the only one. Oh, yeah. And Beth packed me a little bag of pistachios and cashews for my breakfast.
Oh.
I know.
English, mate, Joe.
So, are we supposed to believe she has something better to do, Dennis? Like, is this some kind of thing? Like, she's got literally nothing to do. She'd better be doing shit like that.
He's not going to like, Grand Canyon. He's going into the middle of the biggest city in the United States.
His home.
And his home.
Oh, Dennis, I sent David the other day the map on Waze what the distance is. It's 1.3 miles. Where he's going. I took a screenshot of the Waze.
Is it really?
1.3 miles.
I can walk it faster than he can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, that's what is that, 5-minute car ride? Yeah.
Good traffic.
You can walk it faster. Monique's right.
Monique, how many food places are there within?
Oh my God!
2 blocks of where he is. I mean, seriously, how many?
Yeah, and his favorite Italian is right there, and his, Mr. Chow's, and all this other shit. But he's becoming that old man, though. He's becoming that scared old man. He really is. The fact that he would have her pack him his dinner. I mean, and you can see the way it worked, right? You can see the way he comes into the city. He's got everything like taken care of for him. So he's already ready to go to bed, basically. Make sure that his TV is working, all that shit, right? Make sure that the internet is okay. And then, he has his little salad and his little turkey meatballs, and maybe like a couple of cashews for dessert. And sleep. And then that's it. And then wakes up in the morning, takes a shower, figures out one of his 3 outfits to wear, comes into the office. The car is waiting for him, literally with the fucking engine on, goes downstairs and gets the fuck out of Dodge. End of story. That's his whole big fucking expenditure of time out, which begs the question of, did he actually stay in the city when he went out for dinner with the Kimmels? Probably not. Probably went right home.
Yeah, I think he went right home.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's already in Brooklyn. Why schlep all the way back into the city when I can get right on the BQE and go to the LIE and go home?
So, Fairway Maiden, great observation. She went, it sounds like he was going on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, it's like my grandparents used to pack less shit when we used to go to the beach. The Italian, old Italian grandparents, you're bringing like the cabinet.
The refrigerator, exactly.
Yeah, literally. I mean, you get the barbecue and you cook pasta on the barbecue.
Howard is mentally regressing. He really is. And this is what happens with people who, the way they say that people who are by themselves or alone and they have no more mental growth start to, and that's absolutely what's happening to him. And look at this. Look at how proud we are of the big boy.
And I brought my cholesterol medication.
Oh my God.
Yeah, you got to pack a lot of stuff. Medicine, food.
Yeah.
Your bag of tricks, your hair stuff.
Yeah. I have two hair products I needed to use for Bruce. So I brought those. I was pretty proud of myself. I didn't leave anything home.
Oh, good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. Good for you.
WNBC clamp. There you go.
Good for
Well,
you
There
that
you
you didn't
go.
forget anything. You're such a good boy.
Gee. Not that he's in the middle of New York City and it can get it in 3 seconds if he needed it, but that's okay. That's not part of the whole
in order to
conversation.
have cholesterol medication, don't you have to have eaten cholesterol at some point in your life?
I think sometimes, listen, I just got afflicted with having to take cholesterol medicine, and the doctor said to me that you are 1000% genetic. It is you are genetically predisposed to having a cholesterol issue. So
Are
I
you
think he just
pregnant
takes it
again?
anyway.
yeah, I'm pregnant.
Exactly.
It's yeah. I don't, who knows? You know what? You know what? With him, even if it's slightly elevated, one
Yes.
time,
Yes,
he's gonna
yes.
take the medication to keep it.
Because his biggest nightmare is having all that money in that kingdom and his daughters and Beth using it for the rest of their lives, and he doesn't get that is his biggest nightmare, is he doesn't get to partake in his marbles. I
Yes.
really think that's his biggest that's the fear of death. He was
I
Yeah.
went Gunga Din. That was great. Robin, I went number 2 all by myself.
yes.
Oh, good for you. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy.
Oh, this is the greatest comment.
Rupert posted
Nice
this quote is
one.
the old guy that was paroled from Shawshank prison.
Ooh, yummy.
Oh, so
All right,
true though.
We're
Yeah.
gonna move on, and we are going to go to I don't know where I want to go right now.
Free
Oh,
Bruce, right?
he's talking about Morgan Freeman, Monique, when he goes out in the world and he doesn't know how to do
Yes,
anything.
he
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
know
a
how to
great
do-
that's a great comparison.
It's a great
Yeah,
analogy.
rich man, poor man.
I'm just going to jump a little bit to him talking about having to fight his way through school. And, I wasn't going to even include this because we've talked about this ad
Have to.
nauseum. But it's just such a lie. Yeah, X is out trick-or-treating. He, trick-or-treat is his Christmas. So he does the whole thing. He decorates like the scariest house in the neighborhood and he gives out all the good candy. So that's where he is tonight.
The
All right.
electroshock in the bush is a little much. Though.
It is a little. It is
It's a little much.
Then he goes to the Jack in the Box and Taco Bell parking lots and does his
I
mischief.
saw somebody wrapping up in what are they called, Rocher Ferrer, in those little gold aluminum foils. They were wrapping up Brussels sprouts.
Are you serious? Oh my god!
Being the dick of the neighborhood. Exactly. All right, so here's him. Just a little lie about fighting his way through school. I just wanted to add this in.
Survival. I took a beating every day, 1 or 2 beatings a day, and had to fight my way out of school at 3 o'clock. So it was a little difficult to concentrate on my education.
We've refuted that.
You never said anything to anybody.
Yeah, okay, because apparently his mother was saying that all her friends' kids went to Ivy League schools. I will mention at this point that Bruce Springsteen's kids went to Duke, went to Boston College, and went to Baird. One is a fireman, one rides fucking horses, and the other one's a singer-songwriter. So basically, what are we talking
One
about?
is working. So basically, one's working.
Well, one's working as a fireman. That's kind of like,
he's working.
having your dream come true from when you were 12 years old because you can. Because you went to a 7 year old.
It could be a volunteer fireman as well. I mean,
No.
suburbs.
There's pictures of him, when he got his badge and everything.
Okay, good for him. Good for him. Hey, I'm knocking the head. Good for him.
Absolutely.
Bruce would love
Right.
that because
So-
of 9/11 and whoa.
Oh, damn.
What did I do?
You
You
got
overmodulated.
really loud. That
How
was
I didn't change anything. I didn't say
You
anything.
moved too close.
I did. Oh wow. So the funny thing is though that
This wig is killing me.
it's high up just like his wig.
Oh,
The funny thing about this story is that Ray had refuted this stuff many times
always.
when she called in, many times. I mean, it's if you've listened to the show more than 30 years, you know that this is all a lie. It's not even a little a lie. It's all a lie. He
Yep.
never had black kids beating him up. They were Polish kids.
We've
He
refuted
never,
it
once they
1,000 times
moved, they
in this.
never had to fight anymore because they moved to an upper middle class neighborhood, and there were no fighting. They just didn't like him because he was Gunk.
We
And
found the
listen,
history of Howard Stern with white
112%.
flight and Ben, and we've refuted it 1,000 times. I
and
don't
listen,
even
yes,
feel
there
like
was
it
white
anymore.
flight. We all agree there was definitely white flight. I mean, his whole neighborhood did, in fact,
Yeah.
turn completely the other way, and people left, and that's what, and that kind of shit happens. But it didn't affect him in any
No.
substantial way because most of his high school was spent in Rockville Center. Period.
Correct.
We'll stop. So, he was just a stupid kid. Let's just be honest. And he went to 13th grade. And just like somebody was just saying, he just followed his friend, Dr. Lou, to Boston.
He also went to the 4th most expensive university in the United States.
At the time, yeah.
Last I looked a few years ago, it was still up there.
Actually, at the time, it may have been one of the most. I mean, it may have been higher than 4th because now it's 4th. It may have been the most expensive.
And a rocket ship, Dennis, to broadcasting fame, like your Syracuse's, like
no, I don't think it was the most expensive. I mean, Harvard has always
close.
been up there as the most expensive, and so
Ben paid for it in cash.
That's right.
He paid for it in cash.
Oh, good for Ben. Listen,
I know.
Good work if you can get it. All right, so
Never helped Howard though, right? Never helped him.
Let's continue with him, being out the door as soon as Bruce leaves. Here we
go. Oh no, I mean, for me, it's kind of nice to actually be in the studio, but the hassle getting in here, and I'm still COVID crazy and nervous, so it was a lot. But for Bruce, I'll do it.
You're not going to be there tomorrow.
Hell no.
You're going to leave there right away, right?
You're damn right I am. What do you think I'm crazy? I'll be out the door the second Bruce leaves.
You're going with Bruce.
I'm going with Bruce in his car.
Yeah. Okay. So we know you're going to get the hell out of there. But now I want to switch over to exactly how it was for Howard to actually come into the office. So we're going to switch over to the Jim and Sam show. And we're going to talk about what it was actually like to be at Sirius this morning before we get to Bruce. Okay.
By the way, Monique, both Buckwall clients. And I want you to notice, I want everyone to listen. He doesn't actually say, neither one of them say Howard's name at all in the clip.
No, of course
it's just one big innuendo. You know who they're talking about, obviously, but it's kind of weird to talk that long about this and never actually say the name Howard.
Sorry, one thing I just needed to interject before we do that, because I've been talking about the fact that he's been saying, and so I just did a little compilation.
Fact of the matter.
Or, I have this, so I, oh my, you don't realize there's a lot. And then I was like, gee, what am I going to, stay with you? You know what I mean?
I think,
Okay.
I got to do it in other words.
23. Come on.
That's so good.
Don't
like. It's just as bad.
Don't ask.
Don't ask.
I noticed that when he has a guest on who says like a lot, he then says like a lot.
It's a 14-year-old girl speak, right?
Totally. It's a weird affectation for today for some reason.
Yeah.
Well,
tell us something personal about Monique.
So Monique, remember how you always said that he's as good as his last conversation?
Yes.
He actually admitted to that last week, like on Wednesday.
Yes,
really?
He actually said I talked to somebody. It was about some subject, and I'm really only as good as the last person I talked to.
Wow.
Yeah, we know that. We know that 79.
Who would say that?
We know that.
He's humble bragging too about it. Who would even?
He's an idiot.
I
guess so.
So let's listen to Jim and Sam, because I thought these clips were really, really good, and they go on a little bit longer because Jim and Sam aren't going to come after us. Here we go.
I'll just take the elevator, go to the bathroom, and change.
That's true. Yeah, no, you'd have to take the 10-minute hike to get to a bathroom. A bathroom.
Sure.
Not the one close to the studio.
No,
that's closed.
No, of course.
That's closed.
So let me just give you a little rundown here. Okay, so on the first floor of Sirius, there's a big bathroom. So it's a bathroom that has probably like 5 or 6 stalls. So it's the one that pretty much everybody uses.
Urinals.
I don't know that. I'm going there. So it's pretty much, I guess, what everybody there would use as their main bathroom. But also don't forget that Howard actually has a bathroom in his space as well. So why the fuck would the bathrooms be closed? I mean, it's just so psychotic to me. Okay, here we go.
You don't have access to that.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's good to have. We have a lobby here at Sirius
that we cannot use.
Nobody's allowed to use the lobby.
Yeah, but it can't be used.
It can't be used. There's some things are a priority.
Yeah, some people are very, very nervous. I guess COVID 2.5 years in. Hey, look, I get it. It's you don't want to catch it, and that's fine. I'm okay with people protecting themselves. I don't really care. But just to say that no one can use the lobby on a certain day is just, I mean, what are you doing?
It's wild.
What are you doing?
What, are we wiping down packages?
I mean, it's.
So then, okay, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, go pose for another picture with him, Norton, in the hallway next time you see him in 15 years.
Well, but then they go on about, and they had to hire extra security today to make sure that nobody would be on the 34th or 35th floor, whatever it is.
Wait, so they hired extra security to police their own employees? Because there's nobody else going up there except their own employees.
But what Monique says is true, Dennis, as it happens as well, is that it cuts out of the budget. So they can't, apparently they want to get a guy to film their show. Right. And this is the type of stuff why no show can get,
but they can't hire the people. So it's in this next clip. So this is a lot, but I really, really enjoyed this. I enjoyed listening to them bitching and moaning about this today. So it just is a little bit longer and we'll break it up a little bit.
You know, I couldn't help it.
You couldn't help it.
Yeah. But to make everybody else go out of their way is, you know what I mean? It's, again, your own personal thing is one thing. I have no problem with, hey, you know, I'm walking through the hall and they're going to clear the hall because I'm very highly paid and I'm the biggest. I get it. I'm not going to whinge about that. Fine. But to expect nobody to use the lobby bathroom, I mean, Jesus Christ, you know,
for the whole morning.
I mean,
I would even be okay if it was
lunacy.
Just like.
I think that'll change.
There's a wind. Well, it's not. I think it's just for today. Yeah. This isn't a daily.
No, I know. But the lobby.
Do you hear him? I think that will change. I wonder what he's alluding to there.
I couldn't track that either.
Yeah.
Are these two on Sirius? These Jim and they're shitting on him. They need to be careful, don't they?
They don't say his name though, Bob.
Never
they don't actually say his name.
Let's continue.
They've been doing this routine for years, shitting on him like
Opie and Anthony have, not these two.
Jim Norton used to work with Opie and Anthony. He's very aware of the entirety of the dynamic that goes on in this place.
He was I was allowed through the lobby.
Yeah. No, I figured too. I mean, I guess it's gonna be like this all morning. You know, which I thought maybe like for a window of time, allowing everybody to get in. Okay, whatever you need to do. I'm all for everybody feeling comfortable, but like, you just have to
listen to the process.
Stay there, you know?
It's insane. It's really.
Plus, you have to like hire security to do that. And then we're like, hey, could you just hire somebody to push record on the video cameras? They're like, that's no, that's an impossibility.
Yeah, exactly. No, we can't afford to record the show that we have cameras for.
The budget is for lobby security.
Yeah, I would like masked lobby security, and they say absolutely delighted. So
delighted.
Hey, listen, do you think we can have lobby security? I'd be delighted to do that for you.
Now you understand, every other employee, instead of using
so listen to this. I love this part.
The bathroom that is located for everybody will have to walk around, rescan their card, go to the elevator bank, hit 37, have to wait because the whole building shares the same elevators, have to wait for an elevator to get there, go up to 37, walk around, use that bathroom, go back to the elevator banks, wait for 36 because the stairs are in the lobby. And once that elevator gets here, go down to 36 and then go back around to the studio to pee.
Fine, so a perfect solution. Anything to have you in the building.
You know that everybody that doesn't work for this company will be inconvenienced by the fact that we're completely taking over all the elevators just so everybody can use the bathroom.
And they'll be delighted to know what it's for.
Can you even fucking imagine, guys?
Well,
no, I can't. I can't fathom
Imagine how hated not just Howard is, but the whole show by affiliation, that you have to run into other Sirius employees and they're saying to you, "Good, you just fucking ruined my whole day," and you know, I mean, you can't defend it at all, because I would hate to be working on the show, because just be lumped in with Howard, to be hated by the entire rest of that Sirius building. You'd have to.
And that's what
They're
I say. I mean,
enablers.
I would be so fuming, like so beside myself. Tim Estes says it's been a month since Jim and Sam have been able to record a video for their show.
Oh my
That's
God.
amazing. That's amazing.
I would say to Norton, then why did you fucking resign, Mr. Buckwall client?
Where's he gonna go?
Just quit. Kumi is
Quit.
the network. Go
Just
to
quit.
Kumi's now. Just quit. I mean, he does this all the. When Opie and Anthony used to rip on Howard, he used to mute his mic because he was afraid he wouldn't be booked on Howard's show in the future. He thought there was a chance he'd be booked on the show.
You know what? It's just self-preservation, John.
Of course, he's a worm.
You know,
Why is he a worm? If that's the job he can get, let him fucking get it.
Yeah.
Well, wait.
Out. That's on him.
Let's even grasp this even bigger than just the extra security in the lobby. They are paying for a palatial studio that they have to redo every couple of years and spend big bucks out of their budget, not Howard's, their budget to do. And these guys can't even get a camera recording their show.
Right, that's why they're saying, want to hire more security? Of course, let's do it. It's for the big guy.
And what could that possibly cost? Right?
Anything Howard doesn't matter. Whatever it is. Whatever you
doesn't
need.
matter. It's not Howard, so it doesn't matter.
Don't you wish that we were in broadcasting right now, but in 2007 or 2006? How good would this show be? You know what I mean? Imagine coming on after Artie's done something crazy and everybody's talking about it. It just shows how bad it is nowadays. Imagine coming on after Artie had the fight with Teddy, like doing a live emergency podcast. It would have been so amazing.
Yes,
I totally agree.
That's what our show will probably wind up being, like really just best of, just taking one day's show and making it something like ridiculously funny. Back in the day, because all this shit that we've been doing for the last like 5 or 6 years, this is just a historical documentation of how far the mighty have fallen.
I love what Gunga Din says here, Monique. Is I think this is Howard's master plan, just to piss off everybody as the partner. Finally say, "Oh, just stay home, Howard. That's not worth it." Okay, just stay home. Like he's so high maintenance. He's so ridiculous that they all just agree this just isn't worth it. Please, Howard, stay home.
But you know the weird thing about this is, though, John? The weird thing about this is that he is like a petulant fucking Tom Cruise, let's say. Just like these actors who are holier than thou, who don't give a shit what you think. Don't look at me. Don't talk to me. I need all the, blue M&Ms and none of the red or green. And, I only need La Croix, and it has to be lemon lime flavor, but only the one that's imported directly from France. I mean, just the ridiculousness that is Howard is tolerated because of who he is to perceived, who he is to Sirius.
He got this behavior from Letterman in a way. A lot of this came from visiting the Letterman show and watching Letterman be a diva and a total piece of shit on his show.
But even all his asshole friends in the Hamptons are like
that. It's a combination, right? It's a of all those things.
Yeah, he has this thing of self-importance that, once again, like his worn-out boots, is not earned. I mean, seriously, it's
no,
like
the ego can't be fed enough, Dennis. You're right. Absolutely, the ego can't be fed enough.
I mean, because Letterman had a show that was extremely, for especially the time it was on, when it was on NBC. It was extremely popular for being on after Carson, and and then he hangs out with Seinfeld, who was massively popular.
Yeah,
and all the way to the end. And Howard, in his little mind, thinks he's on that level of popularity and notoriety, and you really aren't. And it's insane to think that he thinks at that level. It really is crazy.
Because they have enabled it, because he has been treated that way. He has been feted as the most important person on radio, certainly in New York, Dennis, and you know as well as John does, that he's a god in his fucking hometown. And so
Was.
even though, listen, still today, if Howard walks down the street, a million people are going to come up to him. I mean, it's a 6
I
foot
don't think so
nine dude.
anymore.
Oh my God. Are you out of your fucking mind?
I don't think
Dennis?
so anymore. I actually don't think so
Your
anymore.
mind.
I think most people have forgotten about him. I think people moved on.
I don't.
I really do.
You
I
know,
can't find anybody that fucking listens to him. I can't find anybody anymore.
You
Matt,
certainly
see
don't
that?
hear idle chatter in the background. It's
No.
weird. His
No.
fame is very, very strange. How to qualify, especially with the new generation. I just don't know how you could. But certainly Monique says it all the time. Like, well, if you want to be anonymous, 6'5" with the wig and the sunglasses, you want to be seen. You want that praying mantis, goblin, fucking Varvatos look. You want to be seen.
Yes.
You're
Hey, thank
6'7",
you, David.
6'7", not 6'5". What,
Thank
Monique?
you so much for contributing.
David.
David. It's almost like he thinks he has to, if he has to come in, he's going to pull every diva move he's ever heard of or observed because he may never get to do it again. This is a clearance sale on diva
Yeah,
behavior.
it's like diva blackface, David. You're right.
Nice.
So before we get into the Bruce stuff, I just happen to know, Stern was trending today on Twitter. The funniest part about Stern trending on Twitter was there's, I guess, some guy who's running for office whose name is Stern also. And so it wasn't really all about Howard. It was about this other guy as well. So this is Stan Goldstein. Howard just completed the best Bruce Springsteen interview ever.
Hi.
Must listen for all Springsteen fans. Started at 9:09 a.m. Eastern Time and ended at 11:24. It was 2 hours 15 long. And so, and then all the Springsteen fans come like fluttering in. My first time listening to Howard, there was a quick comment when he thanked Bruce for coming in, and Howard Stern quickly said he wanted to apologize, and they tossed it aside quickly. Do you know what the context was behind that? So, of course, I had to basically go in. He ripped into Patty constantly, as he did with most people he was insanely jealous of. And as Bruce said, she's Sicilian. She never forgets. I can't wait to come to that in our little thing that we're playing today. But yeah, so people were just fawning over it, like, oh my god, it was so amazing. So what a lot of people brought up though is
actually William there actually rips on him because no new ground. Yeah, no. This was tilled earth that was retilled. I mean, it was bad. There was some of the same talking points, but it was really, really good. And so what a lot of people were talking about, like this guy said, if there was no discussion about the ticket fiasco, then the interviewer was a failure. I'm sure his management made it a condition for appearance. Jesus, Springsteen needs fresh management. So I had to do a little digging into that and see what exactly this was about. And so there's this thing going on with tickets nowadays called dynamic pricing. And basically what happens is when you go to Ticketmaster to buy tickets, if there have already been like some pre-sales and different things. So say I was able to buy pre-sale because I'm Amex Black Card or Platinum or something stupid like that, right? So I buy 10 tickets, which is the max you're allowed to buy. But then when the tickets go on sale for everybody else, I'm allowed to resell those tickets, and Ticketmaster will show those as tickets that are part of the resale venue so that you're not having to go to StubHub or anything like that. You can just buy them on Ticketmaster. So all of a sudden you go on there and you see these tickets that Bruce Springsteen tickets are as high as $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 right now.
Man of the people.
And so fans are like going absolutely batshit and are like, it's bad enough when he was on Broadway that you couldn't touch a ticket for less than $1,000. But now he's going on tour, 73-year-old dude. And the tickets are just out of hand.
What does that mean, though, Mon?
What
does that mean? Like you said, if you bought that chunk of tickets and then you decided to sell them because you can't, your friends and you can't go, that means that
it's not because I can't go. It's because I buy 10 tickets to resell them.
Right.
So I can actually promote them on Ticketmaster. I can sell them. I can resell them. So instead of going to like StubHub or something like that, I can resell the tickets on Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster
and
gets
the
a
price
percentage of my
can just
resale.
go up and up and up into
Whatever I
thousands
want
for
to put
tickets.
Whatever I want to
That's just that's it. How is that legal?
It
I've
is.
never heard of this.
It is
How is that
legal.
legal? How is it different than a guy standing out the front of the venue with
because
tickets, selling them for $1,000
No
each.
different. Thank you, Ida, so much. She is a Sicilian. She never forgets. The best
no,
line.
they don't.
Yes, absolutely. It's the best line in the show. I can't wait to play it.
Thank you. I agree, Greenbacks.
But the this is how it's legal there, Bon Jovial, because Ticketmaster gets a cut every time that's done. So those tickets being resold can be then resold again as resold tickets
because they're
so they get a
transferable
cut every
nowadays.
time. That's why it's illegal.
We just had a conversation on the Deppening. I can't believe you're bringing this up. How about the irony of Bruce's really good friends with who? Eddie Vedder, and who fought Ticketmaster tooth and nail but Pearl Jam. It's a complete the irony of Springsteen using Ticketmaster to the hilt and Pearl Jam hating their fucking guts.
Yeah.
Despite what the result was. They tried.
There's
no one else did.
competition for tickets. You know, you have Live Nation and you have Ticketmaster, and that's it. There is no competition for distribution tickets for any show. So,
Ticketmaster, so Ticketmaster are allowing themselves to be like eBay. If you want to resell your ticket, how is that? How's the moral of that?
I don't know. You know, it's really crazy. I was
sell
like
a ticket for any more than it's worth through their company.
Right. It's a good point, Bob.
A corporation.
I'm gonna read up on it.
That's what they say
later.
about scalpers, right, Monique? If you, it's not scalping if you sell it for the face value. It's only scalping if you go $1
How
over.
can Ticketmaster say, well, you can buy them for $300 when the day they go on sale at 9 a.m. But if you want to resell them, you can just say, I want $1,000 for this ticket. How is that?
And it drives up all the rest of the prices. Don't you get it? So that's the dynamic pricing. So if you start out, so I was looking for tickets to go see Depeche Mode in April because they're coming to New York, right? So I knew the tickets were going on sale at precisely 9:00. And so I'm sitting there waiting the countdown, and it's literally 8:59 and 59 seconds. So the page refreshes itself, and the page refreshes, and I swear to God, it says you are 10,129th online. Like,
oh no, it's not funny.
What? I was 28th, Monique.
Kidding me. and then it shows you like the queue, and the queue keeps moving and moving and moving. So finally, when it's your turn, you know, it shows you here's Madison Square Garden, and here's the tickets that are available. And when you put your little mouse on something, it's already a price that is inflated from what the original price was on it, because somebody was able to get tickets earlier and has already put them up for resale.
Dynamic pricing. They made this is a scam. This is a scam.
Of course it's a scam, but it's a monopoly, and that's why they do it. And Radio Gaga says it's not just Bruce Springsteen. There's a reason why Blink 182 tickets are $600.
People paying Blink $600 to see that.
Whom, by the way, I saw outside of San Diego about 7 years ago for like $55. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's too much.
And the proper term would be the proper term is not a monopoly; it's an oligopoly because there's two of them.
Ticketmaster is Live Nation, same company. See, there you go.
Oh, so it is a monopoly now. Now that's a monopoly.
You heard it here, folks. Everybody, I want you to bootleg like Al Dunbar and the Doobie Brothers bootleg every concert you go to and put it on YouTube. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Bring your phone and bootleg it.
So a lot of these people.
That this Sorry, Mon, you go.
That's okay. Go ahead.
I'm just scared that this dynamic pricing's going to come to Australia because I don't want that here. That sounds awful. That's scary.
Don't worry.
It shouldn't exist, but because there's I don't know what the rules are. I don't know enough about it, to be honest with you.
You don't want that corruption in the penal colony.
Yeah, exactly. You can't have that there.
Coming. It will come.
Not one question on the elephant-sized fiasco.
Yeah, these people are really upset about that. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. It was really just a crazy thing that people just kept going.
Are we artists or stockbrokers, Bruce? Huh? What are we?
Yeah.
But that's the thing he should ask. He should have some integrity as an interviewer to say this is a controversial thing.
Right.
And you got to talk about it, man. You got to answer to it.
I agree, Bon. Are we artists?
Bruce shouldn't get scared either, though, because
this
is what he's involved in. He should
he's
just
so
say,
powerful,
Bon.
Bon.
I agree with it.
Yes, he's so powerful he could make quite a difference by himself.
So here's another article that
We
Zane
learned
asked me earlier. Springsteen on Howard Stern Show, 10 things we learned from the new marathon interview. So let's talk a little bit about Bruce Springsteen and about how that interview went down. So Bruce came in around 9:05-ish. Howard played 2 songs in their entirety before Bruce came in. And then one of his really. And it was and one of his first questions was, does he keep his awards in like a trophy room, or does he show them off in his home? And here's what
and she just kept him in the garage.
His mother
Figure out, what does Bruce Springsteen do with these awards? Do you have a room in your house where if I walked into your house, would I see?
Well, I used to give them all to my mother. She lived in California, and she just kept them in the garage.
Okay, Bruce had a really, really weird laugh, by the way. So,
sounds like Bruce Hornsby, right, Mooney?
Like I don't. It was just really weird. It was just really weird. I don't know if he really knows who Howard is, other than the fact that Howard used to talk shit about him and his wife. So does he think that Howard's supposed to be like the funny guy, and so he should laugh? Or
he's forcing it out. He's gritty.
Why was it
gritted
so
teeth,
weird and
probably.
inappropriate? Like, I don't know. I just thought it was really weird. Here's another one of him, like, in his crazy laugh. Here we go.
Shape, I would say.
I don't worry about if I'm aging, because you're gonna age, but you do go, hey, I look pretty good there,
and what are you doing? I assume you take Metamucil like I do. Are you a fan of Metamucil?
Okay, really?
Oh, I can understand why he laughs at that, because that's just a stupid thing to say from Howard about Metamucil. Like, I would laugh.
That award question,
oh,
Monique,
yes.
That award question is one of the biggest cliche platitudes, hack interview questions on the face of the earth.
It is. You're so
right. It is
right.
the worst question.
Totally.
The doorstop. That's usually what they say.
That's right. That's right. That's the punchline for it. That's right, Bob.
Good call, John.
Thank you, sir.
Here's Howard talking about his full-on commitment to his show and to his procedure and to what he does, and such a fucking load of shit. It's not even funny.
I am someone, when I do a radio,
Crazy Robin.
I can't take a break. I don't even want to take a break for a commercial. I go for hours longer than I'm contracted to, but I know why I'm doing it. And there's a bit of sickness on my part, but I'm wondering if you've gotten that deep with it.
Yeah, he goes hours longer than he's contracted to.
Hours?
I'm sorry, what?
Huh?
If he goes 10 minutes over, it's because he's too sloppy to hit. He doesn't have to hit breaks like other radio shows do. They get in trouble. He does whatever he wants because he can't actually abide by it's just him being sloppy.
When he doesn't have a guest he's lathering completely to try to get an angle to get some access, 10:05, he's like, oh, well, we've done a lot of show. It's time to leave. I mean,
and he won't let them go to other shows, Dennis.
Yeah.
There's literally a memo that goes out to the other shows. But you're not allowed to speak to Springsteen today.
I mean, the only time he goes any type of length is when he's there trying to work an angle with these guests, because otherwise, 10:05, it's like, Robin, we've done a lot of show today.
I was going to get to how big Richard Christie's shit was today, but we're going to save that for tomorrow.
Just save that
because it's time to go. So here's the clip of the day, which I'm excited. I really need a clip of the day intro. Bon Jovi, you missed my intro. I did really quickly today. I'm gonna show it to you.
What was it?
I'm gonna show it to you when we're done with the clip of the day. Hold on a second. Okay, so
you're doing your cute voice. I love that.
The patronizing cute voice.
Because it literally took me like 2 minutes before we started.
And by the way, I know that's how you spoke to Brent when you spoke to him on the phone. Oh my God, everyone's saying you're dead. You're not dead, right? Oh my God, Brent, you're so cute. You're still alive.
Tu lingua in mi culo.
I pitch Mike.
Okay, so listen to this. So they're talking about, he would have loved it if Patty would have come on with him. And I feel like what Howard was trying to do with Bruce was almost replicate Bruce's Broadway show. Like,
Yeah.
and what I loved about what Bruce did today, though, which was just such a delicious fuck you, is that Bruce didn't play all of any song. He would just play like a piece of it. So
Yeah.
Howard can't use that as like, oh my God, look, Bruce Springsteen did Dancing in the Dark a
To fill
cappella.
10 minutes so he doesn't have to
Fill
talk.
10
Right.
minutes on
right.
YouTube. You know, he didn't do any of that. He played maybe like a minute.
Or a 12-minute interstitial bumper that Fred would play. So
Yes.
yeah,
So
that's
you
a great
can't put
point.
this on
That's a
YouTube
really
as a full song that Bruce Springsteen played. So Bruce really, a lot of what Bruce said was literally exactly what he's done in his show, and then he'll play a little bit on the guitar or whatever. The two things that definitely came out of it is the fact that he needs to use hearing aids when he's at home now because he's destroyed his ears from so many years of doing this. And what, babe?
Rock and roll, baby. Hearing aids. Rock and roll.
I saw you wrote that in the chat.
And also that he can no longer play the beginning of Jungle Land. He just doesn't. He can't play it on the piano anymore. I'm not necessarily sure what the reasoning was for that. So anyway, he's talking about Patty should have come in, and here's what Bruce says.
And to get Patty here, you may have to do some sweet talking because she's Sicilian with a long memory.
Yeah, I know. Well, first of all, I want to thank you for being here because I got a lot to apologize for in my life. No. You're very gracious and very forgiving, and I adore you, and I adore Patty, and I love your whole sound. So
I'm glad to be here. And
yeah, okay. Because
you adore Patty. Why? Didn't they speak on the phone, Monique, for hours, and shouldn't he have apologized then?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you think that'd be the move if you're talking to him? As far as we know, and I think Billy Joel brokered this friendship. By the way, Billy Joel is the guy who booked Don Henley.
There's no friendship here.
I'm saying that I think Springsteen has got Billy Joel helped broker this.
Oh, I thought it was Jan.
No, I think Sirius told him he had to finally come in.
I don't think so. Why would Bruce give a fuck? Why does he have to do anything? Why does
East Street Radio.
Why does Bruce give a fuck? He just sold his whole thing for $500 million. What does he give a shit about East Street Radio?
He doesn't have to do anything.
He doesn't give a shit.
Because he's a narcissist, and East Street Radio feeds that narcissism.
Shit. You really
Yes,
think
he does.
somebody like Jennifer Witz could say, oh, Bruce Springsteen, you go in and talk to Howard Stern? Never happens. Never, ever, ever would happen. You're giving them way too much authority. It's a fucking radio station that plays Jungle Land 40 times. You know, who gives a shit? That's like telling them, oh, Eminem, you have to go on the Howard Stern show because you have, Eminem radio. Never happened. Never, ever happened. Sorry.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it was Jan.
Wow. Did you record that, Bond?
Yes, maybe you're right.
Did you?
I
God damn it.
Even though I think Sirius had a part of it.
Okay, so here we go. Springsteen on the Howard Stern Show. 10 things we learned from the new marathon interview.
Nothing.
Let's see. Here's what we learned. Comments on selling his catalog for $500 million. And that's why Jennifer Witz can make him insist on going in and talking to Howard. Late last year was announced he sold his masters to Sony Music. When asked about the massive sale, Springsteen said, I just got to a point in my life where at 73, I was going to Columbia. They were going to take really good care of it. So it's just a timing thing, and it made sense to do it now. And Stern followed up with there's a sense of cashing in, so saying, hey, I worked my entire life. Let me realize it in some monetary way what these songs are worth. You wish you had a fucking catalog of work that was worth that much money.
He did. He thought he did.
He thought he did, but it really wasn't worth it.
He doesn't.
He now wears hearing aids. I've been lucky. My voice has gotten better as I've gotten older. I didn't think he sounded that good today at all. Unfortunately, I'm not going to play any of it for you. He admits a life of rock and roll has damaged his hearing, and he sometimes wears hearing aids, joking how his wife asks whether he can hear her or he just isn't listening. I wear them when I'm at home, and they help a lot. His last moments with Clarence, basically talking about how he was playing guitar to him while he knew he was dying, and he was in the other room. Who he'd like in his super group. Stern and Springsteen sang the praises of Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine.
Fred Norris on guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let me stop right here on this thing. This part of the conversation was fucking insane. I mean, because Howard is stuck in this whole way back machine about these supergroups, which is nothing that will ever happen again. And none of those guys were over the hill like Springsteen was. Even Roy Orbison was still kind of relevant when he did Traveling Wilburys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were still relevant people. Springsteen is over the hill and done at this point. I mean, and nobody does supergroups anymore because that was a thing way back when in the 60s and 70s.
Unless
and
you're the
80s.
Hollywood vampires, Dennis.
Right. That
doesn't
I'm
count.
sorry.
Well,
That
Shellback
doesn't count.
actually asking an interesting question. Do you think he was even allowed to sing his whole songs? Who knows?
Well, that's what
Probably
you
not,
just
because
answered.
He doesn't own
Who
them.
knows? Zuma Show says Bruce has already talked about selling the catalog. Nothing new about that. The actual news was the hearing aids. WABC Radio News even reported on that today. So, okay, hearing aids is big news. So, yeah.
I thought he was a hydrogen peroxide guy like me, Monique, with the ear.
Wow.
I always pictured Bruce sitting on a pillow with a cotton ball with hydrogen peroxide, dipping it in his ear like I do once a month.
Okay,
You got to hear that.
please remind me. I have to show you all pictures of our boy Arm dressed as Howard Stern
No.
back a couple of years ago.
This literally is the most disturbing thing we've ever done.
Was it more disturbing than John dresses?
Wow.
See
Wow.
that George Takei T-shirt? This is circa. This is like the early days of Sirius. This is like my sister's Halloween party in like 2008, 2000.
Holy mackerel.
Look how the world's oldest teenager. That's the E. I tried to mimic the E studios when we'd come out of the, the booth. Look, no part, guys. I don't have no part. Even though I'm wearing a wig, I had my sister spray paint my part like Tony Coburn.
How great is this? Oh my!
I let myself get shot from the left side. What was I thinking?
Oh my God!
can't
This is
do
just the
that.
funniest
Right?
fucking thing.
Only from the right. Only from the right.
God, dying.
And yes, Barbara DeRush, that's me in Halloween 1979 in my avatar.
dying,
picture.
dying.
I'm Shazam.
This is the funniest. The Casio, yeah, the Casio is the best. My favorite picture ever. And that's so funny. When I used to go to my sister's house, the kids used to put the toys behind the couch. All the
Yeah, that was my nephew's playroom at the time. That's exactly right. He had all his action figures are kind of
like a shelf.
around. Yeah, that was prime Chucky O'Hara time.
Oh my fucking God, that's so funny. Okay, so I just thought
That's
you
a
would
good
all
observation by
appreciate
you.
that. Yeah. So Johnny,
Monique, did you get the bagel picture I sent you? I made my own bagels.
Bagel.
Speaking of Florida, I don't know if you got it.
Speaking of Florida, I made my own bagels. Speaking of Florida, did you really?
Yeah. Do you see him?
Yeah. Well, hold on. I'm gonna put
Okay.
them up. Give me a second. Let me get.
I want to show everybody you don't have to be in New York to make your own bagels. I made these in California.
What are you doing? Making
Use
bagels?
lie.
Because I wanted to prove that you can make pizza and
Oh,
bagels
sweetheart,
outside of New
it's all
York.
about the
Right,
water.
Dennis?
It's not about the actual bagel.
But did you boil them in lye?
Yes, I
water?
did. Yes, I did.
Mhm.
It'll be a bagel.
Not bad, right? Steroided. They're Conseco bagels.
Nice.
my-
And I see that you put a little Xanax in each one
That's
too.
my new
Oh, yeah.
that's my Wellbutrin subscription prescription.
Well, the Xanax is the extra touch.
It's Wellbutrin.
It goes with the schmear.
Oh, that's amazing. I
Not
can't
bad,
believe
right,
you
guys?
did
It's not
bagels.
New York.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
Good
good.
for you. Yeah,
Poppy seed.
that
so you
is
can fit-
impressive. No, they're
Poppy
everything
seed, so you
bagels.
can fail. So you can
Those
fail
are
every
everything,
drug test.
sweetheart. Those are everythings.
Better
Are
than
they not?
Zabars. Better
Oh,
than
they're
H&H,
everything?
right, Monique?
So were they delicious?
Yes. Yes.
Excellent.
You can tell by look better than H&H, better than Zabars, Monique.
Indeed. Indeed. You. Good for you.
I had to get a bris to make them.
This man makes bagels. Okay, this is the man behind the magic. So yeah, that's it for my Bruce clips. Is there anything you want to add about Bruce Springsteen?
He's he is a incredible affected narcissist that loves himself more than anything else on God's green earth, and can give two shits about any other human on anywhere on the earth.
Really?
That's pretty much what I got from this interview today. Yeah. He even kind of stated that. He even kind of stated that you know, Bruce is more important than anything else. Bruce. So yeah.
So now,
because he asked him about helping out young musicians, and he's like, "No, they need just to struggle."
It's a completely different landscape.
He said that.
Today.
Yeah,
yeah, it's not the same. I don't agree with that answer. If he did say
total
that,
indifference.
Yeah,
doesn't
it's
give
a
shit
totally
about
different
people
landscape.
suffering.
You can't get signed for shit today. Doesn't
That
matter,
limousine,
right, Bon? You got
baby.
this brilliant musician, Bon Jovi, over here.
you get
You can't
discovered
get
on
signed
like
for
fucking
shit.
TikTok. That's
Yep,
where people get.
That's right.
It's easy to roll up that window on the limousine as you drive by. You don't have to see them.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind. Bon, are you still with us? Now I see his mic is off. Okay, so we are going to now go to
Cleaning out the computer.
So, keeping with our Bruce Springsteen theme du jour, Johnny happened to send me a bunch of clips relating to Bruce. Now, we do have a bunch of clips, so we're not going to play
Space
them
them out.
We don't. I think we should play them all week. I think we
all
should.
week, baby.
I'll get
all week.
more.
So
I want to get the
give me
Scalfa
most-
stuff.
Your main ones. What are the most pressing?
They're all good. Oh my.
I will
want to go
agree.
with some things about book. I want Bruce ducks Howard at Sirius. Pumps Monique. This speaks to what you said. I can't believe you said. This is when you talked about the front loading of guests to try to impress. So when he was pretending he wasn't going to re-sign. So in the same week, he has Jay-Z, Billy Joel, and he can't get Springsteen. Springsteen comes into Sirius to do a 2-hour interview, which I believe is with Jimmy Fallon, and Howard is like, "Why not me?"
Hey, listen, Zuma Show. I didn't play a lot of Springsteen clips because what are the odds that this
Oh,
show
you're gonna
will
get
be
killed
up
for it.
tomorrow?
Yes.
If I played a lot of Springsteen clips.
It's gonna get
I mean,
killed.
let's be honest. You know, there's only so much you can do. I gave you the top 10 moments from the show. I gave you a little bit of his loony fucking laugh. I gave you, you know, a little discussion about what was going on with him. That was the tenor of the entirety of the conversation.
That's right.
Can't play
And
any of the music, can't play him, so I can't.
And
sorry.
Like they
and
were saying,
honestly-
they're really recycled questions. Absolutely recycled. It's sick. It's
Howard
from Neil
has-
Young interview. It's from McCartney. It's he's asking him how he writes a song again.
Yeah,
Howard has literally 30 questions. I mean, that's all he really
That's his
has.
forte.
He
That's
doesn't
his
have
absolute-
much else. He really doesn't. There's no depth. You learn nothing about the person because it's only the superfluous stuff that you get on the top surface area.
Absolutely.
And nothing
I'll
else.
give him a bit. I'll give him a little bit of credit that Howard wasn't like a giddy schoolgirl. He was kind of just interviewing him. He was being serious.
Because
It
he's
wasn't
not a
like-
fan, Bon. Because he's not a
Because
real
he's not a
fan.
fan. No, that's
He's truly not a fan.
No.
Artie's a fan.
He's a tourist.
He's a poser. This is. There's so much evidence of him eviscerating Bruce and not getting him. And hey, I mean, I could make a 10-hour video on it, and I just kind of had to compartmentalize it here, but we'll show
Did
you.
he ask any sex questions? How big is your cock? How big are Patty's tits?
No, he did not. He didn't. No, because this
His
is the
usual
big thing with
stupidness.
Springsteen with Howard. With Howard, Springsteen is a conduit to these people he can't get access to because Hollywood Howie wants access to these high-level people that Springsteen has access to, and he's trying to use it as a conduit to get onto upper level of, the upper level of show business that he can't get to.
We
So
had
he's
Gary
trying to
admit,
work that
Dennis.
angle.
We had Gary admit from the Pelican Brief, kind of a carryover from it. We played the phrase safe space. So their goal is to make the Stern Show be considered a safe space.
1000%, though, they came to Gary and said, look, we don't want to talk about the Ticketmaster thing. We don't want to talk about anything that has to do with his wife. We don't want to talk about this. We don't want to talk about that. We don't want to talk about this.
No doubt about it. And when you're that, and you're as big as Bruce, you get away with that.
Right.
The red. And by the way, does anybody know? Does Bruce have grandkids?
Yes, he has one grandchild.
I was hoping he would have induced him. I was praying Bruce would have gone down the grandkid. You know, my greatest thrill in my life is hanging out with my grandkid, and so it would have to trigger something, and Howard would have to duck it or hamana.
I will give you $500 for my black lipstick napkin. I was just realizing that I still had my Halloween black lipstick on, and it's bothering me now. So yeah.
But yeah, so this was just Star fucking 101 with Howard. It was just trying to get access to people he can't get access to.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's really what this was. It was trying to get to that other Hollywood level that he has no access to.
Exactly.
Because he can't get it through Bon Jovi, he can't get it through the Aniston, he can't get it through Kimmel.
But why can't he get it through Robert Plant? Or
Robert Plant embarrassed.
Can't he get into that
How
group?
many times has Kimmel had Springsteen on?
How many times? What, Monique?
Has Kimmel had Springsteen on?
I am going to. I very frequently check the Kimmel
5?
show for things. I'm going to estimate between a half dozen to 10 times over the years. Kimmel's been on since he's going on 20 years on the air.
Jesus,
really? ABC. He started Super Bowl of 2004, 2003.
There's a difference though between
though.
trying to go through Kimmel to get to Springsteen to get to these other people, or trying to go directly through Springsteen to get to these other people.
Yeah, but Dennis, he's got so many people working on it. That Monique is right. The fact that he took him this long, you got Kimmel, you got Fallon, you got Billy Joel, you got the guy from Rolling Stone, Jan Wenner. You got so many people. So he must have been pissed off at just like Barrymore we were talking about, Dennis.
Yep.
Bruce is on the level of a Drew Barrymore with the amount of times he got eviscerated by Howard over the years. He has no reason to like him.
Worse.
Forget.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
They forget.
They don't have Drew Barrymore does not have a Sicilian wife, and I know firsthand what that's like. And
you may have
that is not pleasant
because she's Sicilian with a long memory.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that is not a good thing to piss off. You don't want to piss that off.
Is why he has never been on the fucking show.
Well, Monique, Two Masters, right? Was there Zoss raping? Did Howard bring up Zoss to Bruce?
No.
Earlier, he didn't bring up to Bruce though.
Okay, to somebody else, to Gary or someone before.
So should I play this Bruce? This Billy Joel confides in Bruce? No.
I kind of want to. Let's just go to some of the stuff that what did I say? Bruce ducks Howard at Sirius.
That's a good one.
Jay, this is what you were talking about with when he front loaded the guests to try to make it like he's making it look like he's not going to resign. So this is going into the third contract, and so he's in the same week he has Jay-Z, Billy Joel, and he can't get Springsteen.
Okay.
How many shows left?
14?
14. Robin, you're keeping the official count because that's out of here. Somebody said to me, "Why don't you build your own studio?" And there's been lots of discussion about what we're going to do if we leave here. And
you're not leaving.
I got a lot of nice emails, phone calls. I heard from people on the street how much they enjoyed the Jay-Z interview. And I spent my day beating myself up and thinking of all the questions I didn't ask. Now, if we're lucky if we get an hour. Yesterday, we were lucky to get an hour. It's just, and then I walked in today and there was a bunch, when I walked into the Sirius building, in the main lobby area were a bunch of chairs, and you could tell there was some sort of party last night. And I said to Ronnie, "What was going on here?" And they go, "Oh, Bruce Springsteen was here last night."
You're kidding.
I go, "Wow, you're kidding. Why didn't anybody ever tell me that? You mean he did a concert here?" Turns out he didn't do a concert. For the Bruce Springsteen channel, he did a 2-hour lecture. I don't want to say lecture, but he answered people's questions. They had a small studio audience, this kind of thing they did. And I was like, oh, how do we get him in here? But I saw Jimmy Fallon gets him for an hour.
Yeah, I saw that too. He's I guess Jimmy and Bruce have some kind of friendship.
Oh, yeah, right. I guess so. I don't know how that all works, but
I know they've done something else together before.
Well, I guess that's how I got Billy to come in, because I know him personally. He comes over to my home quite a bit. I've been to his home, and
well, now you're doing the Barbara Walters.
Yeah.
Cultivate.
That's how I got Billy to come in. Because but by the way, I never once asked Billy to do an interview. I never even brought it up.
Bullshit.
It was his idea. He said, hey, I want to call in. And he had a good time on the phone and kind of said, hey, I want to come in there.
Fuck off. Seriously, there was no way Bruce was coming in. By the way, they were having a party. By the way, it was at nighttime. By the way, hours after you are gone for the day. And you would have made it so that Bruce would have had to come in, chew his fucking ear off for 2 hours.
Yes. And there's no way they don't know about it, Monique. With fucking Gary on the prowl and Zoss raping. There's no way they don't know he's coming in there.
Zoss Rapin would definitely know because he is, an executive for music. I mean,
That's
there's
right.
no way.
He was exactly right, Dennis. That was his position at the time. That's exactly right.
Yeah, no way.
He doesn't want to admit he got blown off by him. He's acting like he's completely unaware of. They tried to get him.
But the funny thing is, there's plenty of people that blow off Howard Stern.
Of course, really I want to know them all. I want to know them all.
There's plenty of people. He tends to, have the wish list which is mostly, rock stars from when he was younger. But
Monique, it was posted in the background. Remember DiCaprio and Taylor Swift and Nicholson.
I would kill for.
I got to see that list again. It was somebody was it Brent that gave you a screenshot of it? It was out there somewhere.
It was on the forum for a little bit. The other one though is like De Niro, because I imagine he has to be on his list, and that motherfucker will never come into that studio ever. No desire to come.
He would kill for like a Pacino, De Niro, Scorsese thing. He would.
There's no way Pacino would ever come in now, especially after all the insulting he did of Pacino. No way. And
De Niro was the co-owner of Nobu with Richie Notar. He was supposed to come on, and that vacation schedule, De Niro wanted to call in or something, and his schedule is a lot of why they can't get people on.
Didn't he also rip into De Niro about dating black girls?
Yes.
I think he did.
Yes.
He ripped into him hard. There's no way he's coming on.
His wife was black. He could not believe that.
No way.
He never does interviews, and that's probably true. But he's also losing it a little bit, to be quite honest with you. He's up there with Jack Nicholson. I think he's got a little touch of the
old timers,
the Heimers. I bet you Travolta and Cruz will never go on because they're afraid Howard will do a suicide mission.
No doubt about it. Scientology will not allow it.
The way he is now, he wouldn't. He's such a.
No, he never would. No way.
No.
All right, Johnny, what clip do you want me to play now?
If you want to play just one more, I mean, you guys, when my Wi-Fi cut out, did you guys play the Badge Bunny thing I sent you with that shot 41 shots, that song he did about the cop? You didn't?
No.
You remember when I got cut off and I didn't know I sent you a bunch of Springsteen bashing, and then I only heard Gary pissing on Springsteen's interview skills, and I came back and I don't know if you played Howard the Badge Bunny. Howard Badge Bunny's Bruce over 41 shots. I don't think you played that.
But I have it right here, and I
don't think we played that one.
Titles, John. I love the titles.
I do things that are just realistic.
I used to spend more time on titles.
I do Bruce Mom's Kept Awards in Garage, and he does Howard the Badge Bunny, Bruce over 41 shot song. Here we go.
You see all the cops want Bruce Springsteen dead because he's into that. He wrote a song about
the Amadou Diallo thing.
Yeah, I don't blame the cops. I'd be pissed too.
What's he got to do?
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen, shut up, man. 41 shots. Have you heard the song? I haven't heard the song.
I've only seen some of the lyrics. I haven't heard it.
I don't play it,
recorded it yet. He's just been performing it live. And
remember the cops shot that guy with 41 bullets, and I told you there was every reason to shoot him 41 times. In fact, the jury said the same thing.
The cops were not convicted.
They thought he was pulling out a gun. And when you empty your gun into a guy, when you think he has a gun, you empty it. So anyway, Bruce Springsteen wrote a song, 41 shots. 41 shots. And now, so Springsteen's going to be at the Garden, and the cops are like, you know what, dude? A lot of us work off-duty security. We're not going to work it.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Yeah, take it. 41 shots. Go take care of yourself,
you don't want us around.
Yeah, I don't blame him. I'd be pissed. Bruce is like, the work. Meanwhile, the cops used to love Bruce Springsteen because he was like the working man's.
Right, he was always giving money to like laid off union guys and all that stuff.
But now the cops hate him.
What do you do for the working guy?
I like
nothing.
Yeah, why should he be so popular?
Yeah, why should life be easy for him? 41 shots. Like, you know what? F you. There's nothing else to sing about. Now you're down to like 41 shots.
To make somebody talk about you, you have to do that.
F you.
And then Robin always shoved her too fucking fat cents in. Fucking monster.
I didn't
You
listen
are
to
the
the
one
interview
God
today, Monique. I
loves.
imagine that had to come up, right? Howard
No,
definitely brought
of
that up.
course not.
Oh, no, you didn't bring that up? Wow.
No, they
That's
got
crazy. I thought for sure that would come up.
Frank, let's be honest. We have tried so hard. We have shown blackface.
No.
We have shown who's the Jew. We have shown, Fred dressed as a Nazi. We have shown so much stuff. If he can't get canceled for that, he's not getting canceled for something like that.
Frank
You know
said
why
we
he can't-
need you to complain about the blackface.
Yeah,
we need
you
a
need
black
to
man to complain
I
about
mean,
You
I
know
could
why?
complain, but
Do you know why he won't get canceled? He's irrelevant. You can't cancel something that's irrelevant. It just really, seriously, you can't.
or a partner.
He's irrelevant.
With an ironclad partner contract.
I wish Fudgy the Whale would get harpooned already, says Benjamin.
Oh,
Well,
and
that's
the
ice
best
then,
part,
John.
though,
Nice ice.
it's every
Oh,
once
you
in a
heard that?
while. Every once in a
Yes.
while, you would hear Blobbin during the interview. You'd like hear a breath from her.
Oh,
it was
really?
so weird. It was so fucking weird. You thought she would say something, and you just kind of, and it's like, okay, is she gonna interject? Nope. No, it's just a
No, she's
sound.
gasping for air.
It was so insane.
I think that clip is as bad as it gets in today's rah
That's pretty bad.
9/11, fake patriot thing. When you do that, that's about as bad as it gets. That's about as worse.
Well, I'm going to save a bunch of these clips for the rest of the week because we do have a bunch of stuff about Artie and Howard. Meet Bruce 01, 02, 03. These are from 2000.
Yeah, Artie meeting Springsteen and Howard.
Yeah, so we're going to save some of that for tomorrow. You know what's going to happen tomorrow. You know what's going to happen.
Victory lap, baby. Victory lap.
Yep.
Yeah,
4-hour end zone dance.
First, he's going to talk about how exhausted he is from having to go into the city and come back and the traffic and all this other bullshit. Meanwhile, he's literally taking the LIE at 11:30 as if anybody's going that way at that time. And
I
then
was getting congratulated by everyone.
yeah, exactly. And he's going to
Monique, he gets to use the HOV lane because he's got him and his hair and his ego. He gets extra passengers.
In that prom limo.
What? Dennis, can I ask a question? Did Howard do the usual thing at the end where he says, "Will you come back on again, Bruce?" And then Robin goes, "Yeah, will you
how did
come
they
back
end it?
on?"
How did they end the
suddenly? Literally suddenly, they were talking about the new album, and then he was like, "Okay, yeah, that was really good. All right, we're gonna go for today," and then just literally stopped the show. I mean, there was no, there was literally nothing. It was just the show just stopped at 11:21.
Okay,
it just stopped. It literally there was nothing. There was nothing else happened. I mean,
David's got a good thought, Dennis. David,
so bizarre.
What Gary did in the wrap-up show after that, I think I'm gonna go after that.
Oh,
really? Somebody
Yeah,
actually, no one listened.
no, he's right. That's a good way. I mean, I was thinking about that too. Gary, jerking himself off on the wrap-up show.
Oh, he had to, but I mean, the show. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a more bizarre ending.
I'm not going to play any of this, but I'm just curious what kind of clips they have.
Is this today?
Yeah, Stern show.
That's today.
Yeah, if you just
that looks like the studio.
Yeah,
it looks like it.
No, that doesn't actually. Behind it there, that's not studio looking to me. I don't know why.
We have to stop it there.
Yeah, let me see.
Look at stupid angle Howard's got. Over-calculated stupid angle.
These are all his Bruce things. Let's see, 8 more.
I gotta be at a 72% angle, Robin.
Does that look like it's his studio?
Yeah, I thought that's his studio. They redecorated again.
Probably is.
For
I don't trust anything they do. It probably is. But
for the 12th time, it's redecorated. No one's there.
That's right, Crazy Robin. He's got a Zoss raping tan. Bruce does.
Yeah, nice. Right.
It's so funny the way Bruce is 73 years old and he still wears his short sleeve button down.
He looks good. He looks as good as you can look. That's
listen,
his job.
He looks. Don't get me wrong. I think
looks
he
great.
looks great for his age, for sure. For sure. I find it just so amusing that he still wears these little cuffs.
Dress your age, dude. Dress your age.
Hey, look who we're talking to.
The plunging neckline contest with you.
He actually wore a t-shirt with a sweatshirt over it. He wore a zippered hoodie. Wow.
He did, didn't he?
He really did. I wish I could play this, but I know it'll get booted.
Thank you, Tamara Francois. Like and subscribe. I never say that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I never say that either. Let me get this.
Where's the like and subscribe? It's over there, isn't it?
I'm going to do it right now. Hold on. I'm going to get out of here. We're going to do our like and subscribe, and we're going to get out of this. I'll get some screen caps from that for tomorrow's show.
Yeah, because we have to analyze the shit out of this because it looks like his regular studio, but my God, how do you screw up the sound in that studio when no one's used it?
That's right, Marta, and welcome back. He looks way better than Howard. Way better.
Well,
He's 5
yeah,
years
I mean,
older.
well, then again, anyone looks better than Howard.
Yeah, that's the bar we're sitting
in.
at.
Bar, Marta. Marta, that's a low bar.
Yeah, he listen, he does look he looks better than him. I mean, he's a tiny person, but he looks good.
He's a tiny person.
Melvin, as usual, always agreeing with John.
Yes, he does.
With Arm, I don't believe a word of this. My guess is they were not in the same room together or even in the studio. Something else is going on. Okay, I'm gonna get screen caps of it tomorrow, and then we will talk about it. He totally doesn't look bad for a 75-year-old midget rock and roller.
Always unnecessarily mysterious, Melvin. Always.
So Springsteen is Lilliputian, and he's like Lily.
That's Sara. Is that Sara making a cameo at the end?
Look at Sara coming through in the clutch for a promo. Howard looks like a Jewish witch. He was just for Halloween, of course. All right, so tomorrow we will also do our victory lap of how horrible the interview was today. We'll see if there's any other news that comes out from it other than the hearing aids, which I think is pretty much, I agree with Zuma Dog. It's probably like the biggest thing that happened. So tomorrow, Fred will have his new Springsteen puppet. Xavier will probably be back talking like Springsteen, he's been doing to me for days straight. And that will pretty much be it. So thank you, Bon, for including yourself in today's little production. We appreciate it. I am
Go with a smile.
That was Nicholson.
Nice.
Good.
I'm just hoping, Bon. Bon, are you there?
Mm-hmm.
Just so you
Yes.
know, I just wanted to let you know that tomorrow is November.
It's November.
Oh, yeah.
It's just
It's
kind of
already.
curious.
I've uploaded it.
But it's
for
already
you
November
already.
there.
It's just kind of curious.
Let's go to the calendar. October.
I have to tell you that music is one of the funniest fucking things I think
It
I've
is.
ever heard. Where does that come from? It was just so
Is
ridiculous.
it Aborigine?
That's Howard playing the
No,
skin flute on Ralph.
I Googled. I just looked on YouTube for flute playing Chariots of Fire, and it was some guy playing it all out of key, and I was like, perfection.
It's
I
so
sped
out
it
of
up,
key
of course.
and so delicious. There's just nothing funnier than that. I love that. Okay, so
But-
tomorrow's
but-
November, so hopefully our
It is uploaded for you. It's
okay,
in
so our
your-
PJ is going to have a new November for us.
Monique,
and it will
it's already
blow
November for
your
him.
minds. I say this to Monique every time I put one up. I say, I've uploaded it for you, and it's going to change the way you feel about media. I make
Well,
these
you
grand
know,
statements.
I love that because I download them and then I upload them into StreamYard and then I just leave them. So, hey, Bon, you should be able to just upload them into our StreamYard, no?
It doesn't let me. It only lets you, which is annoying because I would just load it in. I
Yeah,
wish they.
totally.
Can you email them when you send a text to Scott asking him about that audio being so bad? Can you email StreamYard and say, I have this little guy from Australia who wants to be able to upload the bits, and can you change your whole platform so that he can
Can't.
do that too?
You can't. It's tomorrow, and it doesn't work for StreamYard.
It is
Sorry.
November 1 here, and
Yeah,
what
see?
today is a public holiday, and it's not because of the Queen. I know Dennis those words were about to come out of Dennis's mouth.
Damn it, I
gotcha.
thought.
I know, and It's
Kangaroo Day?
It's a world famous day, and it probably makes the sports section of your news broadcasts every year. It's called the Melbourne Cup, and it's a horse racing event, and it's known worldwide. So it is a horse race today.
Show of hands, who's heard of
Let's
it?
put up a whole bunch of comments that everyone's going to make now. Here we go. What have we got here? Let me wait a moment. Here we go. We got a bit of this now. Okay, what is this? Oh, brilliant.
You're still handing
I thought it was like Jack. I thought it was Jack Robin Day or.
Oh my God, they're all coming. Look at this.
Koala
Or
bear.
Alan Jones, or Daniel Ricciardo Day. I mean,
but the horse race starts in about an hour. It's like 2
All right, well,
p.m.
we'll
here.
So can I put my money on Beefus? I think it can win easily.
But
by
let me tell you what we call it in Australia. We call it the race that stops the nation. That's what it's called.
And you literally have the day off for this.
It's Monday here, public holiday.
This is now a party.
And everybody gets smashed, like absolutely.
Right,
And they all go dress up in suits and.
Don't laugh,
Pardon?
Monique. If Howard were in Australia, you'd take the whole month off for it.
Exactly. Are you planning on drinking today and having fun? And
I don't drink alcohol.
He doesn't drink.
I quit alcohol in 2018.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We had a drinking conversation, Monique, on the Deppening. I was trying to give him my drinking coach, try to get him back into it. And
I had a problem with
checked out.
alcohol, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I had a
have
bad
actually
problem with alcohol.
substantially taken down my alcohol. I mean,
So have I.
I really, I'm down to only drinking like either when I'm out to dinner or at a social event. I don't drink at home. Almost.
Do you ever do the one on, one off, Monique?
No, I usually do 3 off and 1 on.
Okay, that's not bad. I mean, that's phase 4 of the drinking
So
coach.
good for my health, and I feel better when I go to sleep and all that stuff. But this is a whole conversation for another day.
Do they have a Mark Webber Day down there?
Who's Mark Webber?
Never heard of
He was
him.
a Formula 1 driver for a very long time.
Okay, we got to get out of here. We got it. Hey guys, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any further discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so you know when we're doing a new show. Thanks.